Hello, welcome to the Gun Shop with me, John. Today we're going to be having a look at this, the Sako 85 Classic. So starting at the back we have the Sako red pad, which is obviously orange. It's a really classic looking pad, obviously the gun is called the Classic, and it does look really nice. It's very hard, it's going to offer absolutely no recoil reduction whatsoever, but it does look lovely. It is hand fitted to the gun, which has a satin oiled finish grade 3 walnut stock. It comes fitted with gloss sling swivels, which are really highly polished and generally delightful. It has a deep right hand palm swell and a very long grip, and actually it's really nice. There's nothing about this gun that doesn't feel good in the hand, from the radius of the forend all the way through to the grip size. It comes with a right hand raised cheek piece that again is very well done, and actually looking at the quality of finish on the wood, it is it's superb actually. It's very good for a factory rifle. Moving on to the magazine. The magazine is a removable detachable magazine. You have to push it in to push this down for the mag to come out. It is a little bit of faff, but they do break in, and once they're broken in and you get the hang of it, they're pretty good. The magazine is a full stainless steel double stack magazine, which means you can top load it, which is one of my favourite things around it. You know, I'm a great believer of polymer magazines actually. They're a little quieter, but at the same time this feels classic. I should probably stop saying it at this point, it's getting boring. But it does feel good. It slots in, it's a little noisy, which is the only problem with a metal mag over a plastic mag, but is extremely positive on the fit. And it's not going to fall out, which is altogether rather delightful. The trigger is a fully adjustable single stage trigger, and is between 2 and 4 pounds, give or take. Where it's fully adjustable, they don't always come set to right, and actually having played with a few of them, on a standard setting you can get them just below 2 pounds, which is fine. The bolt is removed, same as a Tikka, same as a Sako, with this little lever here. You push this lever in, the bolt comes out. It is a 3-lug bolt, cocks on opening. It comes with a little tool so you can actually dismantle it. And it's controlled feed action. Controlled feed action means when it's pushed forward, the cartridge is actually picked up under the bolt as opposed to pushed over the bolt, which is called a push feed. So as you push, the cartridge feeds out the magazine and gets clipped in behind this huge extractor. A little bit more reliable perhaps than other brands in terms of when you're really working it and when you really need it to work. That works. Why Sako are really quite popular as dangerous game rifles. Obviously the 270 maybe not, but if you are out on plains game, I prefer a rifle that was guaranteed to pick up a cartridge and fire than one that wasn't. By the by, it's a personal preference thing, it makes very little difference, but on the bolt close when you've got a cartridge in there, it feels very positive. So the bolt is a 3-lug bolt, and it doesn't feel the slickest. I think we're all spoilt nowadays from Sauer, Hainel, that sort of thing, that actually we want bolts to be so lovely when we're playing in the living room, but in reality, when it matters most, they are an extremely fast bolt, and actually having that little bit of lack of tolerance, meaning the wobble on the way back, makes it slicker and faster and slightly more forgiving. Also, if you've got a little bit of dirt in there, it's not going to rub and scrape and be horrible like some of the other slightly more slick bolt throws that are out there. We're looking at practicality over ness. I can't really think of a better word for it than that. And not being funny, it still feels really, really nice. The lockup is always fantastic, and these barrels and actions are very, very reliable and accurate, as I've just said. It comes in 4 of the 6 available Sako action lengths: short, short magnum, medium and long, meaning this gun in the Classic can come anywhere from 243 up to 375 H&H, including 270 and 300 WSM, and all popular calibers. How exciting is that? On top is set the Sako Dovetail Rails. The Sako Dovetails are, well, fairly synonymous with Sako, unsurprisingly, but it does mean you're paying a premium for mounts. Either you have to get some bases, or you have to go for the Octalock rings and bases set. Either way, they are very good once they're attached, but not that the rifle's particularly cheap, but be prepared to have to spend nearly 200 quid on a set of rings and bases. Not that that is a problem, because cheap ones aren't available, not that you'd want to put cheap ones on here. The barrel is cold hammer forged, and it is in a flat satin blue, as is all the metalwork, and it does go together really nicely because of that. Actually, it is a good looking setup. The barrel is a 22 7/16 barrel, or 570mm, and in the Classic it actually only comes unscrew cut, so that's something you have to do aftermarket. The overall length of this gun, I believe, is just over 42.5 inches, and the stock is 14 inches. It's a little short, but actually I'm a tall guy, and it doesn't feel too bad. It doesn't feel too bad. A short rifle is much better than a short shotgun if you had to choose one over the other. This gun weighs 7 3/4 pounds in the long action. The short action weighs 7 pounds, give or take, so there's 3/4 pounds for the extra long action and extra wood that comes with it. I should have mentioned that the stock has a rosewood grip cap with inlaid Sako, which is lovely, and a rosewood forend tip just to finish it off with 2 large recoil lugs. It is a very good looking rifle, but yet still very practical. So what do I think of it? I'm obviously smitten. I like it. It's a wooden rifle. We sell 95% synthetic rifles. A, because of their practicality, B, because they're generally a little bit cheaper, and C, because they make people feel more professional maybe. I don't know. Or you have to be less careful with them. It's a real pleasure to use a rifle, sell a rifle that actually has that little bit of classic soul. I've said classic so many times, but this rifle really is classic, and it sums it up perfectly. The Deluxe is a nice option with the Bavarian style stock on the back, but this is lovely. The stock dimensions, everything, will provide less recoil. It's well designed. The straight top's got less drop than your stand, which actually allows a half decent cheek weld when shooting. Yes, you could have warpage on the front of the stock. Yes, you could bash it around, but the flat oil finish takes very little fixing, and the barrel is so free floating that actually you're not going to get that much warpage, and if you do, you're probably doing something wrong. Yes, it takes a little looking after, but that is absolutely fine. You're actually, talking of rigidity, more rigid than a synthetic stock, probably harder than synthetic stock in terms of durability. I really like it. Mostly big recoil lugs and a red pad. They just do funny things to me. The only thing I'd change about this one is I think the scope's a little bit too technical for it, but again, we're not reviewing that. I love the mounts, however. I think the actual mounts and bases, the loophole system for Sako, dare I say it, is actually a little bit nicer than the Sako system. But that's all from me. Many thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I'd love to know your thoughts on this, and we'll see you next time.